In the beginning, before kings ruled and cities rose, before men wrote laws on stone and carved their justice into temples, there was Dike. She did not arrive with the thunder of war, nor with the whispers of trickery. She came as balance itself, as the unbroken line between light and shadow. She is not simply a goddess of law. She is law embodied, eternal and unchanging. Her form is carved in stone, her robes draped in marble folds, her scales glowing faintly in silver light. When mortals build kingdoms, they imagine justice as fragile, swayed by voices, bent by power. But Dike does not bend. She does not falter. She weighs truth against deceit. She measures pride against humility. She restores what arrogance has broken. The scales in her hand are not tools. They are eternity itself. Each weight is the life of a man, each measure the story of a people. When she lifts them, no trick can disguise their burden. When she lowers them, the truth is revealed in silence. Her gaze is calm, but it pierces deeper than swords. Her silence is heavier than thunder. Dike is older than empires. She stood before the first council was formed, before kings raised their thrones, before judges spoke words of law. She does not need parchment or decree, for her judgment is written into the fabric of existence. When rivers carve valleys, when stars burn and collapse, when the tide obeys the pull of the moon, in all these movements, there is Dike. Balance, law, order. Mortals call upon her when their hearts cry for justice. Victims whisper her name in darkness. Kings fear her presence when their rule is corrupted. Tyrants tremble though no army stands against them. For Dike is not seen in battles, but in endings. She does not strike with sword or fire, but with inevitability. The unjust are weighed and they are found wanting. Her temple is not made of stone, though men built many in her name. Her true temple is the silence of truth revealed, the moment when lies collapse and the world breathes again. She is present in the scales of heaven and earth, in the perfect measure of day and night, in the turning of the seasons, in the breath of fairness that binds all things. Legends say she walks among mortals unseen, clothed in the stillness of the evening air. When a lie is spoken, her shadow passes. When an oath is broken, her hand is felt. When blood is spilled unjustly, the earth itself rises to call her name. For justice cannot be silenced, and Dike cannot be denied. She is not wrath, though punishment follows her. She is not mercy, though the innocent find rest in her light. She is balance, and balance does not choose, it endures. Every life, every crown, every word spoken and action taken is placed upon her scales. And in time, all things are measured. The gods themselves are not free from her gaze. Even Zeus, high upon Olympus, feels the weight of her eyes, for power without justice crumbles into dust. She stands beside Themis, beside Nemesis, but she is unique, for she is not vengeance, nor law, nor punishment. She is the line that divides, the weight that steadies, the flame that reveals. Empires have fallen because they forgot her. Cities turned to ash because they mocked her. But those who honored her, who sought truth and balance, found their legacies enduring. For Dike does not bless with riches or crowns. She blesses with harmony. Her gift is peace that survives the storm, order that outlasts chaos, truth that cannot be buried. She does not shout. She does not roar. Her presence is felt in silence, when the guilty lower their eyes, when the arrogant feel the weight of their own pride, when the world itself demands balance. Her voice is the calm air before judgment falls. Her hands are the unseen force that sets the scales right. In the eternal rhythm of existence, she remains unbroken. When suns collapse into darkness, when oceans dry, when stars scatter into dust, Dike will remain. For justice is not an invention of men, nor a gift of gods. It is eternal. It is her. And so, in her presence, all must bow. Kings, beggars, warriors, priests, gods and mortals alike. For none escape her gaze, and none outweigh her scales. She is Dike, the eternal justice, the unyielding balance, the silent force that binds the world. In the silence before laws were written, before kings carved decrees into stone, before mortals sought justice in courts of men. There was Dike. She was not born of chaos, nor shaped by desire. She rose from the eternal need for balance, the unbroken rhythm that binds creation itself. She is not simply a goddess. She is the weight of truth, the breath of order, the guardian of harmony. Her statue stands carved in cracked gray stone, her robes draped in marble folds, her scales glowing with pale silver light. The scales of Dike are not fragile tools, not symbols in temples or decorations of kings. They are eternity itself, instruments of the universe, measures of life and death. Every crown, every oath, every whispered lie, and every spoken truth rests upon them, and they never falter. When mortals rise in pride, when tyrants believe themselves eternal, when kings claim power beyond measure, it is Dike who waits, not with armies, not with flames, but with silence, heavier than thunder, more certain than steel. She does not need to speak, for her presence is law. She does not need to strike, for her judgment is inevitable. Clothed in marble light, she walks unseen through the world. When injustice reigns, her shadow stretches long. When truth is broken, her hand is felt. When harmony collapses, her scales burn with silver fire. She is not vengeance, though punishment follows her. She is not mercy, though the innocent rest in her light. She is balance, eternal and unbroken. The guilty tremble beneath her silence, for silence itself is her weapon. No deception can stand before her. No arrogance can weigh more than her truth. Legends say her temple is the world itself. The rising of the sun, the falling of the night, the cycle of seasons, the rhythm of stars, all are her scales in motion. The river that carves valleys, the tide that obeys the moon, the storm that clears the sky. These are her judgments, etched into nature itself. For justice is not invention. It is eternal. It is Dike. The gods themselves are not free from her gaze. Zeus, king of Olympus, commands thunder, but even he feels the weight of her presence. For power without justice is nothing, and no crown endures when her scales condemn it. She stands beside Themis, beside Nemesis, yet she is unlike them. Themis speaks of law, Nemesis answers with punishment, but Dike simply is the unbroken line, the eternal flame, the calm hand that steadies all things. Empires have risen, singing songs of their eternity. Empires have fallen, forgotten beneath the dust of centuries. But through them all, Dike remained unchanged. She does not bend with the will of kings. She does not shatter with the fall of thrones. Her scales balance what mortals cannot. Her silence corrects what gods will not. Her presence is not loud. It is not celebrated in parades or triumphs. It is felt in moments of stillness. When a liar lowers his eyes, when a tyrant feels the weight of his crown, when a broken vow echoes through eternity. Her justice is not always swift, but it is certain. For Dike waits, patient as stone, eternal as the sky, and in time all are weighed. She does not promise glory. She does not promise wealth. Her gift is harmony, fragile yet stronger than iron, a peace that endures storms, a balance that outlasts chaos, a truth that cannot be buried. Those who honor her find their legacies remembered. Those who betray her find their names dissolved in dust. Her silence speaks more than voices of kings. Her gaze is sharper than the edge of blades. Her scales are heavier than armies, and her presence endures longer than stars. Dike is not worshipped by fear, but by reverence. For even the innocent, even the weak, find rest in her balance. She restores what arrogance breaks. She mends what pride destroys. She is the eternal witness, the silent guardian, the unyielding balance that no god, no mortal, no empire can escape. When the last temple crumbles, when the last crown falls into dust, when oceans dry and stars scatter across the void, still she will remain. For justice is not a passing flame. It is eternal. It is her. She is Dike, the goddess of justice, the eternal balance, the unbroken weight of truth. Her silence cannot fade. Her scales cannot be broken. She is the law carved not by mortals, but by the universe itself. and in her presence all must bow.